Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Robbie Collins, and you're watching Comic Con Africa 2020. But now, guys, I know you've been waiting for it. We've got the wonderful Tati Gabriella.
Hello.
Hey,
How's it going? How are you, Robbie?
very well, thanks. And yourself?
I'm doing very well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How's life treating you under lockdown?
Um, I actually have been very blessed to have had a pretty okay lockdown. I spent some of it in LA. I'm currently in Germany, in Berlin.
Oh, wow.
I am yeah, I'm shooting a movie here, so I've been very, very grateful and very, very lucky that we were still able to work even amongst the pandemic.
That's awesome. I hear Germany's pretty much back to normal.
It really is. Like people walk around like nothing's happening. Like there's still a mask protocol, of course, when you have to go in places, but there's people on the streets, like the clubs and stuff are still closed, but there's a lot of gatherings. So they're doing well.
I heard that you started meditation during lockdown.
I did.
Say,
I wanted, yeah, I wanted to take the lockdown time to kind of just recenter myself
right.
and make the most of it. Like, not see it as this horrible, even though there was, chaos going on in the world, or there is chaos going on in the world, and there's it only makes it worse to sit and kind of go into a dark place and worry about it. And so I wanted to just bring some peace back to myself and do some inner healing during that time. And yeah, it was great.
That's awesome. And
I,
how does it feel now after being allowed back out the house? You're in a whole different country. How does it feel now, like getting back into the whole work process? Does it was it easier, or did it feel a bit difficult on set the first day?
no, it was actually it was easy to go back to work. What was interesting is like adjusting to the corona protocols,
Right.
because a lot of productions right now are trying to figure out how to still work during coronavirus and how to keep everyone safe. So there's masks on set all the time. Everyone's wearing a mask. I get tested constantly. It wasn't hard at all. It was pretty smooth. It was just different.
Okay, cool. And the movie you're shooting right now, are you allowed to share that with us?
I'm unfortunately not allowed to talk about
Ah, it's
it.
all good. It's all good.
Yeah,
It's all good. But
I
how?
can say.
Sorry.
Sorry, I can say, what I can say is it's a Sony Pictures movie. It's called Uncharted. It's based off of the Sony video game, Sony PlayStation video game of the same name. Um, and it's starring Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg and Antonio Banderas. And
Oh,
you'll
wow.
see my son.
It's a very
Um,
good-looking cast.
Thanks. Yeah, yeah. We try to get dapper when we can.
How's that been working with somebody like Antonio Banderas and Mark Wahlberg?
It's honestly, it's been incredible. They are so inspiring to be around to watch. So encouraging, extremely humble. So what was very scary at first, like, oh God, am I ready for this? They've made it a very beautiful experience,
That's
and
awesome.
I love and appreciated it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Look, you started acting a few years ago. Well, not a few years ago, but you've been in this industry for a while. What was that one, what was the one moment where you felt like, okay, this is exactly what I want to do with my life?
So I've been acting since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I started in theater. I went to performing arts school for middle and high school, so from 11 years old to 17. And what started as a hobby, just from my love of people, I've always been really fascinated by people, how everybody's always so different, that people have their own ticks and tricks, and even twins are so different. And so what started as, yeah, just hobby and this love turned into a passion when I hit like 10th grade. And I was like, no, I think this is what I want to do with my life. It brings me a lot of joy and a lot of fulfillment, and I love the craft.
Do you remember that first role on stage as a kid?
I do. My very, very first play ever was in kindergarten, actually.
Oh, wow.
I was narrating. I was the narrator, and it was actually how my parents found out that I could read. Yeah, I was like, what do you mean that's how you found out I could read? They're like, we had no idea. You weren't one of those kids who came home and read everything. We
That's
came to
hilarious.
the play and you stood up on a podium and I just started reading. They're like, whoa, our 6-year-old can read.
Damn.
So yeah, that was my first stage performance.
Oh wow, that's cool. Everybody won there. So, so look, let's talk. You're talking about like developing as an actress and stuff. How close to Prudence do you think you are? Because the character of Prudence has definitely grown in the past 3 seasons. Um, do you feel like you're growing alongside your character?
Definitely. I think that Prudence has actually taught me a lot about what it means to be a woman and what it means to be a strong woman and what it means to unapologetically just be yourself and stand your ground and to not let anybody tell you different. Um, to yeah, just have heart in your convictions and to go hard. So Prudence, so thankful for Prudence. I think that to start we were very different.
Yeah.
I was much more timid than she was. But yeah, she's definitely helped me blossom.
But I think in the development of Prudence as a character, we started to see a lot lighter sides to her. Um,
Mhm.
what do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy being the more aggressive Prudence, or are you enjoying this lighter side to Prudence that's coming through?
Um, that's hard. To start, I think I enjoyed the darker side just because it's fun being a villain. Like
Yeah.
who doesn't want to just be a villain sometimes and just like be a badass? So I did like that, and then to transition or to see her growth and kind of redemption, it's been very fun to play somebody who does have darkness in their heart but is trying. Um, yeah, so I think both. I don't know if that answered the question, but both.
Right. No, I hear you, but I wanted to know, like, there's certain things when you take on a role, there's certain
Mhm.
things that you obviously find compare yourself to with the character, and then these other things that are so alienated from who you are as a person. And in those, what do you enjoy more? You know what I mean? Like when it comes to playing out those parts.
I enjoy when I first started Prudence, because she was so outside of myself, I enjoyed trying to see her perspective, see the way that she looked at the world, like why she had such this hatred toward mortals, why she had, uh, this hard exterior, and it was more fun to play that, as opposed to her lighter side, to really try to dig and see like there are people in the world that are this bitter, that are this jaded, and in that way to try to understand that so that when I walk out into the world and I come in contact with these people, I meet them with new eyes. So I think I definitely preferred in that way, or as an actor, to play the darker side of Prudence, because it really made me have to think and dig and go against my own morals at times and
Right.
just see a different perspective. Yeah.
What would you say was your favorite scene that you shot on the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina?
Um, One of my favorite scenes that was just in part three was our like Easter episode, uh, our Hair Moon episode, where we all had this singing number. That
Right.
was probably it was a very fun scene to shoot because we had all learned the choreography about a day before, and so we were all on set trying to not like make sure we got it right in the scene, like giving each other eye contact, like, hey, you got this, look at me, Kate, now we're gonna cross each other. And so that was a lot of fun, as well as the masquerade episode from the first season was for all of us like a great time, getting up at 6 a.m. and all of us like at the top of our lungs, all of us in onesies screaming the song, trying to make sure we remember the words. um, yeah, and I have so many more. Like our cast was just so close, and we always had fun no matter what we were doing.
It sounds like you guys were pretty close on set.
Yeah,
Do you guys still keep
yeah,
in contact?
definitely. I just spoke to Sam Corlett yesterday.
Oh,
Chance
awesome.
Perdomo was one of my best friends, and he was just here visiting me, and I talked to him almost every day. Um, I talked to Jazz and Addie very recently, which was lovely. So we all keep in contact like pretty regularly.
Right. And I wanted to know when you're playing Prudence, like on some of these scenes were very hard and dark and heavy. Just speaking to you, I can tell that you're a very outgoing and bubbly person. Do you
Yeah,
do anything on set before you get into shooting those scenes? Like, is there specific music you listen to just to
yeah.
kind of shut out Tati?
I have a whole Prudence playlist
Oh, is
to
it?
kind of uh, bring her out and kind of yeah, I guess yeah, just bring her out and have her connect with some of the darker parts of myself. Because I think that we all have a yin and yang. We all have dark parts of ourselves that we, either choose to heal or choose to push down. And so her and I connect on that level through the music that I listen to, and
What's that one
I do.
song? What's that one song on Prudence's playlist?
So my all-time, I guess, staple Prudence song is "I Am" by Georgia Smith.
Right. I don't think I'm
Yeah.
aware of that song.
Oh, listen to it, Robbie. It's
I'll
a
listen to it. I am. Okay, sweet. Look, you started with the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. With the 100, you joined the cast later.
Mhm.
What do you find is easier, starting off a show with the cast or joining?
Um, that's hard because I didn't have a hard time transitioning into the 100. It definitely, I guess it kind of was easier to start off in the cast with Sabrina because you're starting off you are part of the creation of the world.
Right.
Um, yeah, you're not trying to fit into one. But with the 100 cast, they were so welcoming and so like ready to teach me. I was so fresh, so like green, and didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know my first thing, kind of big thing in film. And they held my hand. They were like my big brothers and sisters, that cast, and they walked me through. So I can't really say either way was hard.
Right. We have a couple of questions from your fans, if you don't mind
Okay,
asking. Are you cool with
of
that?
course.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Tabang said he is literally crying right now.
Oh,
I don't know if that's more of a statement, but
right. But I catch your tears and I send love back.
Haley would like to know what is it like being part of a show like Sabrina, which has such a huge fan base, and what would be your favorite memory from shooting the show?
um, so to answer the first question, it's wild being part of a show with such a huge fan base and such like they go so hard, our fan base, and it's really exciting. It's really cool. It's really heartwarming when especially when I get to meet people and see the excitement and see like people will come with like costumes and things. It was mind blowing at first and very hard to wrap my head around because it all happened so fast. Uh, but I've enjoyed every second of it, and every the I guess the my favorite moment from doing the show. Um, well, one of my it's so hard because like I said, we were so close and we have so many good moments.
Right.
Um,
Okay. What is the craziest thing a fan has done that you've seen? Wha-
the craziest thing, there are people in the world with my face tatted on their bodies.
Oh, damn, girl.
That blew my mind. That blew my mind, and it still blows my mind that there are people out there right now that have my face tatted on their body.
That's
Like,
crazy.
yeah,
Wow, which hairstyle do they go for?
they go for the finger waves.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's full Prudence, like finger waves, everything. Yeah, it's incredible. Like,
That
and I've seen some really good artwork.
that's flattering though. That's pretty
It
amazing.
is extremely like it's very humbling and very like I'm like whoa like that I touch like it makes me so happy and brings me so much joy to know that I touched somebody that much
Right.
that they want to have that tatted on them as part of their story, their body's story for the rest of their life. Like I am extremely humbled.
Wow. Got another question. Sorry.
Okay.
Somebody's asking, referring back to the Uncharted movie that you're shooting now. Have you actually played the Uncharted game?
I have I da, 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 da.
Oh snap!
Yeah, I've been playing it since I got here to Germany, and I freaking love it. I am now a full blown Uncharted fan.
That's awesome. What stage are you at?
I'm like halfway through Uncharted 4 Thieves End. I'm like at the point where like Sam and Nathan are in like this like uh this like old Spanish like village. They're
Right.
like after the treasure, they're getting like the final like kind of clues to the treasure, and I'm stuck at this part. We've got to kill a bunch of dudes, and like I'm not that great with like the gun part of the hand-eye coordination, so I'm working on it, but I'm gonna get there. Wait on it.
Sweet. You also speak fluently in French, don't you?
I am not fluent. I can't say that I am fluent.
Okay.
I understand more than I can speak, and especially because the past few years I haven't had anybody really to speak to. But when I go to France, which I've been to France twice in the last 2 years, after 3 days of me being there, it all comes back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We have another question from a fan. Somebody would like to know what is the best chant from Sabrina that you recited?
The best chant. I guess it would be the first one that me, Abby, and Addie had to do, the blood curse. I think I still remember it. Uh, uh, I don't want to give anybody a blood curse though. That I'm always so like even on the day when we were doing that spell, I was like, Kieran, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if tonight anything happens. Like I don't want it. Like I with that show, like all of us were such spiritual people, like naturally that we were so careful with the because a lot of the spells that we did were real, were
Oh,
very real. Yeah, were very real Latin spells, very real spells that witches today or people of satanic culture do sometimes use. Like so, it's yeah, like like I don't like to dabble in it if I don't have to, but we would
right.
always do some kind of a cleansing afterward to
Oh,
kind
so
of
you'll
wash everything.
there was a cleansing after these
Yeah,
scenes were shot. Okay.
yeah, and well, not a not some. I really wish somebody would walk through the set with like a sage stick and just like be like, get it all out of here, like. But no, just me as a cast would like kind of get together and keep the bring light and love back into the environment and to try to balance that back out.
Right. Have you ever have you ever been like really upset in normal day life and then like said one of those chants to somebody?
No, I would never. That would make me feel so bad if I just like if like after the fact of me being mad, I would be like, oh my god, what have I done? I've just ruined somebody's life. So no, I recommend that to no one. Be kind.
Sweet. Okay, we have a couple more questions. How was your journey emotionally as the character of Gaia in The 100?
Um, it was it was a very beautiful one, a very enlightening one. to have somebody who has made their whole life this one thing, um, and to then have that, or to start, to have to be shunned by your family, by your mother, and to dedicate your life to this thing, for that thing to be destroyed, and to be taken away with no chance of return, and to try to find a whole new way of living, is amongst a full apocalypse and trying to survive. It causes the most primal parts of your survival instinct to come out, and really can show who you are. So for Gaia, like, she challenged with doing that arc. It really, challenged me to find the core of myself, or more so to find what I believed in and how I would carry that out into the world, no matter what happened. So yeah, it was a very enlightening experience.
Right. Now with the 100 having ended, how do you feel about how it ended?
I wish it ended differently. I wish I could have, I was supposed to be there more for the ending. Unfortunately, I had booked something amidst the ending happening, and I couldn't stay for the finale.
Oh,
Yeah, and so I wish I was able to do that. And yeah, it's sad. That was like my first film family, and it's very it tugs on my heartstrings a lot, to know that I'll never share that space with the same people again.
right.
Yeah, but I'm eternally grateful for that show. Um,
As the,
yeah.
would you wanna go further apart from acting? Would you ever get into like directing?
I would love to direct. Yeah, I want to direct, and produce. And I would love to do cinematography and scoring as well. I kind of want to go across the whole spectrum of, film. I just love the different aspects of creating a world. So
Right.
yeah, absolutely.
Which world did you prefer? The 100 or the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina?
I don't think I could pick because they were so different. Like, it's like post-apocalypse versus like a world full of magic. Like,
And which
both
one
are
are you
like
choosing?
that's what, but it's like, I mean, maybe the world full of magic, because it's like, especially because I was one of the people in that world that had powers, so that's
Right.
tight. So I kind of got the upper hand over there, so that's what's up. Um, but like, I don't know. I'd also want to test my survival instincts, and to see, like, in the 100 world, like, could I really, like,
But
could I?
I feel like real life is testing your survival instincts already. It's a we're in a pandemic, so you're winning.
That's true.
You're winning.
That's very true. That's very true. That's fair enough. I'll give you that.
We have another question from a fan. If you would play any superhero character, who would you want to play?
I'm ready for this question. Okay. So, since I was a child, I've always wanted to be Catwoman,
Ah,
because Eartha Kitt was one of my idols growing up, still is to this very day, and so I've always wanted to be Catwoman. But I'm also a really, really big fan of the X-Men, and I really, really want to play Storm. Like, that would be sick. Or Silver Sable.
I see you as Catwoman. Catwoman and Storm.
Thanks, thanks. Fingers crossed. Put the
I'm gonna
word
ma-
out there, guys.
I'm gonna make a call.
Please, please, help me out.
You have another question.
So dark. Yes.
I'm not sure what's his name again. Sorry. Tawfiq. Tawfiq would like to know what other genre of films would you like to get involved in because you're excellent in sci-fi.
Thank you. Um, I would really like to do something grounded in a lot more realism. It's kind of coincidental that I fell into the sci-fi world, and that's what I've been, or the kind of the fantasy sort of world. But I would really love to tell some real stories. Tell the stories of people who may not be able to have the voice to tell their story.
Right.
Um, yeah. So yeah, I want to play some real people.
Totally. Have By the way, have you ever been to South Africa or Africa in
I
general?
have not. No, I have not. I really want to. One of my best friends from college is from Lagos. And so I've always wanted to go. I was supposed to go to Lagos at some point, but hasn't happened yet. But I haven't.
Oh man, you need to come down to South Africa as well. After
I want
Nigeria,
to.
come to South Africa. We
I'll
going
just take
into
a whole
summer.
like tour.
You'd love it. You'd definitely love it. And we are going into summer right now, so it's perfect weather. It's awesome here.
I feel okay. Then you guys might see me soon. Once I leave Berlin, I'm gonna hop over and spend a few days in
Come
Africa,
through.
man.
Our borders are open. It's fine.
I, awesome, awesome, awesome. Because yeah, I mean, I already love the music culture of Africa. Like, I listen to African music a lot, like pop. I guess pop, like African pop. Um, but yeah, yeah, I'll see you guys soon.
The Comic Con team would love to welcome you. Comic Con Africa 2021.
Let's do it.
If you weren't an actress, right? Was there some other profession? I know you wanted to do it since you were a kid, but is there another profession you see yourself in?
I actually, if I didn't become an actor, I wanted to be an FBI criminal profiler.
Damn.
Or yeah, or a CIA special agent. I wanted to um, like I wanted to be international, and I really wanted. I like the idea of going undercover and still like it was acting in a way to me, criminal profiling,
Right.
to break down a person, every nuance, every decision that they tried to make, and to try to just look at the things that they've done and try to form that person in your head to find them is the same thing that you do with acting. Like, you break down a character, you find every facet of them that make them human, that make them whatever, and you've got a person. So yeah, and I like, I don't know, I love Spy Kids as a kid, so I always wanted to be like super secret spy. Yeah.
What would your undercover be?
What,
Like,
like what would like my like alias be?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's hard. I haven't actually thought about that. Because it's like, you would have so many. Maybe I would be like, I would love to be some undercover like mistress or like the super rich, not like someone's mistress, but like a super like fancy woman who like you would never suspect could pull out a gun and shoot somebody.
Right.
Yeah, that would just be, I don't know, I'd probably just have a lot of fun doing that.
What I'm sure there's a huge difference with shooting a series and shooting a movie, right? And you do voiceover work. What do you prefer?
Um, I think I prefer film, like doing movies, because you have one encapsulated storyline that you know what, like start to finish, what it's going to be. You can see the whole thing and create your character within that to actually build an arc. With TV, it's a little harder because, you know, it's going to keep going until it goes. So you have to pace yourself so that you have somewhere to go if
Right.
something decides to come up later down the line. Um, and voiceover I found is actually what was the hardest for me to get into, because I was so used to theater and acting with someone in front of me and having a world around me with a set and everything. And so to, just be in a booth, sometimes just by myself with no other actor to feed off of,
Yeah,
uh, it was a really big test of the imagination.
totally.
So yeah, yeah.
Totally. Yeah, I can imagine with the series, you just never know. Because a series could also just come back in 10 years' time. They can give you a call like, hey, Tati, your character's alive again. Come through. So
Exactly.
it can just change.
Exactly.
What what was that show, that comic, that you, the comic series that you watched as a kid?
You said what was a show?
What comic series did you watch as a kid?
What comic series did I watch as a kid? I mean, I watched the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Nice. I
Um,
also,
yeah, me and my brother watched it a lot. And then what other comics? Teen Titans. Um, and I think those are the only ones as far as like. Of course, in the X-Men, like I watched all the X-Men movies. Not they didn't have a TV show, but at least I don't think they had a TV show. But all the X-Men movies.
okay, cool.
Yeah,
I have a couple more questions for you, Tati.
sure.
Oh, wow. Miracle May asks, have you ever had a nightmare from any of the scenes from the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina?
I luckily I think I can say that no, I have not. I was so terrified that I would because, like, fun fact, Tati doesn't do horror. Like, Tati does not watch horror movies, cannot, like, is a baby, can't even watch a trailer. We'll be sitting there like this, like, can't, won't do it. So I really thought that by being in that world, like, I would go home and have nightmares for weeks. But I think because of the way that the cast built such a light environment outside of, you know, shooting, we I was safe.
Sweet. But I'm sure, like
Yeah.
you said, that when you leave set after you've dealt with like chants and spells, I'm sure there's a little thing you must do leaving set just to feel like, okay, this is separate to my everyday life.
Oh no, absolutely. Like I often like kept crystals in my trailer to make sure that that space was always sacred, always clean, always had positivity in it. So I would do that and take, I guess, a different kind of meditation of just letting it all go, especially on days when we had very heavy work, like the scene where or the episode where we had to kill Agatha, and that whole ritual that we did in the woods, like that was dark, and like we put in a lot of energy into that, and so just taking a second after, just be like, breathe it out, meditate for a second to myself, just kind of recenter and bring back the love. Yeah.
So, since your parents found out that you read from watching you on stage, do do they follow your work?
Yes, they do. And I was even surprised that my parents like watch Sabrina faithfully. Like they've seen every episode, and for my mom is quite religious. She's Baptist Christian, and so I did not think that she would receive it well
Right.
at first, but she still loves it. And my dad, because of the risque sort of uh, embodiment of Prudence, I just warned both of them. I was like, just it's a lot for you guys, so take it easy. But they do. They're very supportive.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm very grateful for them.
Just tell your mom it's Netflix money. He has money for collection. She'll be fine.
Right. Exactly. She's digging it. It's fine. She'll take it.
That's good. Your mom's Korean, right?
Yeah.
Of Korean
She's
descent.
Korean. Yeah, she's Korean and black. She was born in Seoul, South Korea, and adopted around the age of 5 or 6. No, adopted at 5, lived in Japan for a year, brought back to the States, and was raised by a black family.
Oh wow. And have you ever
Yeah.
gone to Asia? Have you ever made a trip?
I No, I have not yet. I plan to next year go to Korea and go to Korea for me for the first time, and for my mom, I want to take her with me to go back. She hasn't been back since she left.
Oh wow,
Um,
that will be an
yeah.
amazing trip.
Yeah, I think so. It's gonna be beautiful. Very emotional, but beautiful. I'm excited.
Yeah. We have one more question for you, Tati.
Sure.
Have you ever had to do your own stunts, or do you do your own stunts?
I do my own stunts. Let me tell you. Hey, your girl, stunt woman. Holla, okay? I'm very proud of it. Um, on Sabrina and the 100, like there were certain things that of course they wouldn't allow me to do due to liability and insurance reasons.
Yeah.
Um, like in episode 4, season 1, when we get hung from the tree, they just wouldn't let us do the drop because, of course, if we didn't land right, then that's shutting production down. But yeah, I'm a black belt. I've done karate for,
Oh,
yeah, I did karate for 12 years. Yeah,
damn.
yeah, I'm a black belt. Something I'm very proud of. And so, yeah, I have martial arts background and did sports my whole life. So, yeah, any chance that I get to do my own stunts, absolutely. Yeah.
That's cool. Have you ever had to? I know they train you in martial arts. Don't ever use your martial arts outside of the dojo. But have you ever had to pull out a couple moves
No, like you mean on set?
on sets or in real life? I don't know about real. I was asking.
Um, I I'm lucky enough to say that I've never been in a street fight in my life. I've never had to. I am a national and international gold medal champion in sparring, but I've never had to put my hands on somebody. Thank God.
You know how
Um,
powerful you'd be if you're in a street fight and you had karate and you had your trance.
Look,
I just leave.
I'd be unstoppable. Okay, they wouldn't stand a chance. At that point, they should really just be like, you know what? Thank you. Have a nice day, and they should just back out. I couldn't even do that to somebody.
Oh man, it was so awesome chatting to you, Tati. Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun.
And please, we'd love to see you in South Africa next year for the Comic Con.
Holla at me. I'm more than happy to come down there. I would love to.
Sweet, definitely will. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Tell
I hope you
Antonio I
have
say hello.
I will. I got you, Robbie.
Thanks, Tati.
Have a beautiful day. Bye.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, Tati Gabriella. That was awesome. We're going to be back shortly after a quick word